All right, let's talk about something you don't hear every day. What life looks like in places where religion is basically on the bench. Today, we're ranking 6 of the least religious countries in the world, where faith isn't exactly front and center, and somehow people still manage to get through the day. Shocking, I know. No packed pews, no Sunday sermons, just cities buzzing with life, innovation, and, let's be honest, probably a lot of really good brunch spots. Curious what a truly secular society looks like? Stick around because this is going to be interesting. Czech Republic, Europe's secular surprise. When you think of Europe, you probably picture grand cathedrals and echoing church bells. But in the Czech Republic, especially in Prague, religion isn't exactly the main event. In fact, surveys show that most Czechs identify as non-religious. And while the churches here are stunning, they're more about history than worship. Walking through Prague, you'll notice a laid-back, almost irreverent attitude toward religion. The focus, art, culture, and a deep appreciation for history, minus the pressure of religious tradition. For solo travelers, that means endless museums, quirky cafes, and a city that invites you to explore at your own pace. Picture this: spending your day wandering cobblestone streets, admiring centuries-old buildings, and never feeling like you're expected to join a congregation. The Czech Republic blends history and modernity seamlessly, without the weight of organized religion. And if you're into cities with charm, culture, and zero pressure, this one's a winner. Estonia, the digital discerning nation, a tiny Baltic country that's leading the charge into the digital future. Often called the Digital Republic, Estonia is one of the most technologically advanced societies in the world. While it boasts medieval charm, religion plays a minor role in everyday life. Instead, the focus is on innovation, education, and a hyper-connected society. In Tallinn, you can walk through fairy tale streets that feel frozen in time, then step into a world of smart cities, digital voting, and tech startups running everything from government services to coffee orders. It's a fascinating mix of old and new, where history meets the future without a sermon in sight. Estonia feels like stepping into a sci-fi movie, one where efficiency, innovation, and a tech-driven society take center stage. If you love history but want your daily life powered by cutting-edge tech, this is the place to be. The Netherlands: tolerance, tradition, and total secularity. A country known for its liberal values, vibrant culture, and refreshingly secular way of life. Here, most people are non-religious or treat faith as a private matter. Instead of church bells, you'll hear the hum of city life, art, history, and a laid-back culture that values tolerance over tradition. In cities like Amsterdam, life is about balance, cycling through scenic streets, exploring world-class museums, and enjoying a culture that embraces freedom in every sense. There's no pressure to follow religious rituals, just a relaxed, straightforward way of living that makes space for both history and modernity. Imagine starting your day with a bike ride along picturesque canals, spending your afternoon in a museum, and never feeling like you have to conform to religious traditions. Whether it's the art, the coffee, or the overall vibe, the Netherlands proves you can have a rich cultural heritage without the weight of organized religion. China, where tradition meets modern secularism. China is a country with one of the richest histories in the world, but when it comes to religion, modern China tells a very different story. With a government that promotes state atheism and a culture that leans more toward history and art than religious practice, China is one of the least religious nations on the planet. You'll still find stunning ancient temples, but in major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, it's all about glass skyscrapers and neon lights, not church steeples. For most people here, traditions are more about heritage than deep religious belief. Think of it as appreciating history without the weight of faith. China proves you can have a deep cultural past without it shaping your everyday life. Imagine spending your Sunday wandering through markets or museums instead of sitting in a pew. That's a different kind of tradition. Plus, the street food alone is worth the trip. Modern, dynamic, and unapologetically secular, China is a fascinating place to explore. What's really cool is how China manages to mix old-school charm with modern hustle. One minute you're wandering through a centuries-old temple that seems frozen in time, and the next, you're grabbing a piping hot dumpling from a neon-lit street stall. It's like having the best of both worlds, appreciating your heritage while enjoying a little high-tech, high-speed living. And hey, if you ever get tired of the art galleries and skyscrapers, just follow the delicious smells to the nearest food cart and enjoy a little taste of history with a side of street food. Trust me, that's a tradition that never gets old. Japan, tradition without the dogma. A country where ancient traditions and cutting-edge modernity exist side by side. Shrines, temples, and tea ceremonies are everywhere. But here's the thing, most Japanese people aren't deeply religious. These customs are more about cultural heritage than faith. Whether it's New Year's visits to shrines, seasonal festivals, or tea ceremonies, they're practiced more out of tradition than devotion. And for a solo traveler, that means you get to immerse yourself in Japan's beauty, without the pressure of religious observance. Japan is proof that you can honor the past without being bound by it. Whether you're soaking in the peace of a temple or navigating Tokyo's electric nightlife, you get to experience it all on your own terms. And if you love sushi and high-tech everything, well, welcome to paradise. Think about it. Japan's true magic lies in its incredible ability to blend the ancient with the ultra-modern. One moment, you're savoring a quiet moment in a centuries-old Zen garden, and the next, you're zipping through neon-lit streets where futuristic technology meets traditional charm. Sweden, the land of social equality and minimal worship, a country that practically wrote the book on progressive values, social equality, and work-life balance. Here, religion is more of a footnote than a foundation. Church attendance is low, and for most Swedes, faith is a personal choice, not a societal expectation. Instead, life in Sweden revolves around innovation, community, and making the most of your free time. Whether you're strolling through pristine urban spaces, hiking in nature, or enjoying a fika break at a minimalist cafe, everything here is designed for quality of life, without religious obligations hanging over it. Imagine spending your Sunday not in a church, but out in nature, taking a long walk, and indulging in the perfect cup of coffee. That's Sweden for you, where modern living, simplicity, and personal freedom go hand in hand. If you want to see how a society thrives without religion as a major influence, Sweden is the place to be. And that's a wrap on the 6 least religious countries in the world, where modern life, tech, and personal freedom run the show. From China's mix of ancient temples and futuristic skylines to the Czech Republic's churches are just cool old buildings attitude. Estonia's obsession with digital everything. Japan's will keep the shrines but lose the sermons approach. Sweden's equality over evangelism vibe, and the Netherlands' effortless cool. These places prove you don't need Sunday service to have a rich cultural experience. If you enjoyed this secular sightseeing tour, hit that like button, subscribe to Travel Pug for more offbeat adventures, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Because the best journeys, they're the ones where you make the rules. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and if you ever find yourself in a deep theological debate, maybe just order another coffee instead.